welcome. All right, let's talk about breaking into the world of tech recruitment. It can feel, well, pretty overwhelming, right? That's why today we're going to lay out a clear roadmap to help you navigate the whole process, from figuring out the roles to absolutely nailing the interviews and landing that amazing engineering job.
And look, let's get real about what's on the line here. We are talking about the chance for fresh graduates to earn salaries as high as 21 lakhs a year. That's a huge goal for sure, but trust me, with the right game plan, it is totally doable. So how do you actually do it? Let's dive in.
First things first, we need to get a handle on the different career paths you can actually aim for right out of college. I mean, you can't hit a target you can't see, right? Knowing where you want to go is the absolute first step.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because you can see a clear progression. Think of it like this. You've got the systems engineer, or SE, role, which is all about core application development. Then you take a step up to the digital specialist engineer, or DSE, where you get to work with really cool in-demand skills like AI and the cloud. And at the very top, you have the specialist programmer, the SP, which is a super high-level coding role with the salary to match. And here's the key. Your performance in the hiring process is what decides which path you land on.
So how do you secure one of these roles? Well, you've got to get through a two-stage gauntlet that's designed to test your skills when you're under pressure. It's definitely tough, but it's also a very clear process that you can 100% prepare for.
And here's a look at those two big hurdles you'll be facing. First up, there's a 3-hour virtual assessment. It's an online test that's basically the main filter. If you get through that, you're invited to the main event, a high-stakes, 3-hour in-person assessment, and that's immediately followed by both your technical and your HR interviews, all on the very same day. Okay, so let's break down that very first round, the online test. This is where they're really checking your fundamental aptitude and your reasoning skills before they even get to the hardcore coding stuff.
This table gives you the whole breakdown of the 100-minute test. And yeah, it covers reasoning, math, and verbal skills, but pay really close attention to those pseudocode and puzzle-solving sections. They're specifically designed to test your raw logical thinking and how well you understand basic programming ideas, often using C, C++, and some simple data structures. Getting these right is foundational for what comes next.
Now let's talk about the in-person coding round. If you pass that online test, you're facing the real deal. And in this round, honestly, raw talent just isn't going to cut it. You absolutely need a smart, effective strategy. So picture this. You're in the room. The clock is ticking down from 3 hours, and you've got 4 complex coding problems staring back at you. The pressure is on. So what's the secret? What's the one thing you need to know to succeed here?
This is so important. Forget about the perfect, most elegant solution at first. Seriously. Your number one job is to get something, anything, that works and passes the test cases. This brute force approach is how you get points on the board. It stops you from wasting all your time on a beautiful solution that you never actually finish. You can only start thinking about optimizing after you have a solution that works.
And here's the other key piece of the strategy. You don't have to be perfect. Your goal isn't to solve all 4 problems flawlessly. The target, the magic number that puts you in a really strong position for the interview, is to fully solve any 3 of them. This lets you manage your time, stay calm, and focus your energy where it counts.
Okay, so to hit that magic number of 3 problems, your prep needs to be laser-focused. You have to have a deep, solid understanding of data structures and algorithms. You should be ready for some really tough problems on things like dynamic programming. That's all about breaking down big problems into smaller ones. Also, be super comfortable with trees and graphs, since those complex topics show up all the time. And of course, having a solid handle on C or C++ is a must for those pseudocode parts.
So you've crushed the coding assessment. What's next? You're on to the final stage, the back-to-back technical and HR interviews. This is where you prove you're not just a good coder, you're someone they'd actually want to work with.
And this slide does a great job of showing you the difference between the 2 conversations you're about to have. The technical interview is a deep dive into what you know, your core CS subjects like databases and networking. They're going to pick apart your projects and probably ask you to code live. A great tip here is to practice thinking out loud. The HR interview, though, that's all about your personality. They're trying to see if you're a good communicator and if you'll fit into the company culture. For this, you absolutely need to have specific examples ready to go.
For that HR round, you've got to have answers ready for these kinds of questions. They'll want to know why you want to join their company specifically. They need to check if you're flexible with things like relocating, and they will ask behavioral questions, like asking about a tough team situation, to see how you handle yourself in the real world.
So, as we wrap this up, If there's one thing to remember, it's this. Landing a top tech job isn't just about being a brilliant coder. It's about being a brilliant strategist. It's about understanding the game, preparing for every single stage, and having a smart plan you can execute under pressure.
We've broken down all the roles. We've dissected the assessments, and we've uncovered the winning strategies. The entire roadmap is laid out right in front of you. So the only question left is, are you ready to get started and navigate your next big career move?